Welcome everybody to the Gap Ministries Christmas event. We're so glad you're here. Not quite the same as if you were sitting in the room with us, but we're going to pretend we can see you out there in your Christmas pajamas. And I hope that you have all your supplies ready to make your peppermint bark and your hot cocoa. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Going to share some things that have happened at Gap this year and have some stories by people that have been, their lives have been impacted. And we just really appreciate you guys. Well, I'm Tianne Kennedy, I'm the development director, and I want to say thank you so much to all the volunteers, our donors, the people that have given tax credits so far, and also those who've already pledged to the Campus of Hope. Thank you for being here, and now let's get on with the show with founder Greg Ayers and John Hahn, our wonderful Tucson Iron Chef.
Well, thanks, Tianne. It's awesome to be here with you. Like Tianne said, I wish we really could be together. And we had this whole thing planned to do this in the kitchen with all of you participating with us, and it would have been a great evening, but this is the next best thing. So I really encourage you. We want this to be interactive. We want to talk with you. We want you to talk with us. So in the comments, give us your best Christmas memory. Give us some questions, some really hard questions for John, like, I don't know, but you can come up with some hard ones, and let's try to stump the chef tonight. And let's just make this fun. I don't know how many of us are on, but we just want to welcome you into our evening and enjoy this time as we do a little twist on hot chocolate. I guess a Tucson flair, right?
Trying to get it a little bit, not Illinois.
Not Illinois. Oh, are you calling this an Illinois sweater?
It looks like it. Your other one looked a lot more like it, though.
See, they didn't let me wear the award-winning Christmas poncho. And I wish I could have done that, but it would probably have been in the hot chocolate and in the peppermint bark. So I was forced to wear the Illinois Christmas. But I'm from Indiana, so maybe it's an Indiana Christmas.
It's a second place runner-up to the ugly sweater competition.
There you go. All right. Well, John, take it away.
All right, let's melt some chocolate. We got some white chocolate and some milk chocolate. We're going to put that in the microwave. That's how I'm going to melt it for about 10 seconds. Stir it around, see if it's ready. If not, I'm going to do another 10 seconds. So go ahead and
you're doing that every 10 seconds so we don't burn it, right?
Yep, we don't want to scorch it up. You're going to grab your mason jar. Thank you for everyone who purchased the kit. I hope you can follow along with us. In your kit, you should have this mason jar, a little bag of white chocolate, and a little bag of milk chocolate with some gold flakes and a candy cane. So let me grab the white chocolate out of the microwave. Pass yours to Greg. And we're just going to set that aside for just a second. I actually put them in piping bags already.
Oh, we cheated.
Be careful a little bit. It might be a little messy.
It's already messy.
You're welcome.
Yep.
If you don't have a piping bag, you can probably put it in a Ziploc bag if you want. I like to use a tall gallon one so I can get down in there. But go ahead and grab your mason jar. We're just going to decorate this jar. You can see this one did this perfectly, perfect lines.
Now that looks like a mess. So if you're artistic,
that's true.
You can, draw lines, draw shapes.
Yeah, check it out. Just going to let it drizzle, let it rain or snow, maybe. So we're going to go with the white chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Set mine down, grab my milk chocolate.
I mean, I'm not supposed to keep going?
You can do it as chocolatey as you want.
Well,
you definitely need a lot more. See?
Isn't it better, the more chocolate, the better it is?
Yeah. We're going to put 2 cups of some abuelita's chocolate and some Swiss chocolate in there as well, and some of these curls. So then I'm going to get my dark chocolate, try and write my name, my autograph, thinking that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll try and write Merry Christmas on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge and let that harden up.
Oh, look at what mess I made. It came out the top.
Maybe.
Well, you're supposed to clip this for me.
I did. I clipped both ends for you.
I'm making a mess. This is like having your culinary students all over again, huh?
The first day, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I know why. You guys tricked me. You did not clip the end of my thing.
Oh, shoot.
So I've been set up to fail. You did that on purpose.
You grabbed the wrong end. It was the other end. I sealed the other end.
You did that on purpose. No, I didn't. Look. TV land, look. No cut.
I put it to a point. So I guess you get a.
Tell me your best Christmas memory. Now that we've made a new memory tonight, how you guys rigged this against me. So what's your best Christmas memory?
I really don't have a lot of growing up Christmas memories in regards to Jesus being around in there. When I turned 20, I got born again. And that's the first time I really heard about Jesus and really heard the Christmas story. So when I was 21, that was my first real Christmas. When I saw the little baby in the manger and realized that that was the Son of God who came to the earth to die for my sins, to live a perfect life for 30 years, that was mind-blowing. If you can imagine, I lived in America for 21 years without really understanding the story.
That's amazing.
And all of a sudden, as an adult, I hear it.
You saw all the nativity scenes and the Santas and everything, trappings of Christmas, and you didn't know the story.
Didn't know the story.
Wow.
So.
Well, that tells us as the church, as Christian people, we have a real responsibility to get the real message of Christmas out there, because this stuff is fun, but this isn't the most important thing. It's about Jesus Christ. And I'm glad you found him when you were 21.
Me too.
Awesome.
Thank God.
Awesome.
Someone did invite me to church one time. I think I went outside and smoked a cigarette when the church was going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yep. What about you?
Well, my folks love to celebrate Christmas Eve, so it was great at my house because I got to open all my presents Christmas Eve and then play with them Christmas Day. I get married, and Pam says, there is no way we're opening Christmas Eve. It must be Christmas Day. So we had a little bit of struggle there because I wanted to do it all Christmas Eve. She wanted to do it all Christmas, but we know who won, and we began to open them on Christmas Day. And it's just to watch my kids' faces light up and knowing that they're loved and appreciated. Of course, we've changed our, won't get into that story, but we've changed our Christmases a little bit, realizing that the gift that God gives us, we need to give back at Christmas. So we try to do a lot of things in the community and for people at Christmas, because it's just a time to give to so many others during this season.
That's awesome. All right, time to grab your unsealed chocolate. Let's go ahead and start with the white. And we're going to grab that pan next to you with the parchment paper. So it looks a little bit, might have some chips still in it, but if you stir up the white chocolate, you should have a spoon right over there. And then I'm just going to put as much or as little as you want for a bottom layer of the bark. We're going to make the peppermint bark.
Okay.
If you purchase the kit, there's a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, so just kind of put it in however you want. You can drizzle it, but I definitely, if we're going to make a legit peppermint bark, I'm going to go ahead and spread it out so it's about 1/8 of an inch in
and
width.
you don't need a tape measure to have that perfect 1/8 of an inch, do you?
Definitely not. Hanging that around like this, shake it around if you want. And then like so, if you want to be perfect like me,
Whoa.
7 inches by 4. And that's it, and that's going to go right in the fridge. We'll let that chill, we'll come back, and then we'll put on the milk chocolate and a little bit of this 24-karat edible gold.
Well, that's going to be awesome.
It's awesome.
So we will be right back. Jason's going to be live in our warehouse to give you some updates about COVID-19, what we've done this year to address that issue. We really believe that it is the responsibility of all of us as Christians that we help those that are in need and are hurting. And so we're really excited to share with you what we have done through Gap Ministries and all the incredible staff that we have here. So Jason, take it away out there in the warehouse. Oh, I'm sorry out there. I guess we're having some technical difficulties. So now it's back to me, and I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do, but have you made any comments?
We do have a comment.
Okay.
Top 3 Christmas movies.
Oh, Christmas Story is my favorite. It's the absolute #1 Christmas movie out there. There is no number 1A or 1B. Christmas Story is the best Christmas movie. Number 2. John, you're walking away. What's number 2?
Well, I feel like I'm definitely horrible at this. I will say that I did listen to Christy Simone's KVOY 1030 Wake Up Tucson this morning, and it was the top 10 Christmas movies, and they even threw some top 10 Christmas shows in there, and I totally don't remember any of the ones that they said, but my wife She makes me watch those Hallmark Christmas movies, and so therefore I really don't like any of them.
Frosty the Snowman. That's in there too. So Jason, we're back to you out in the warehouse.
Thanks, Greg and John. I'm live here in the warehouse, and 2020 has been a crazy year. We want to say thank you to all of our partners for making this year a very special year. We have partnered with many organizations to bring relief to our community during this time. In conjunction with Fresh Bites, Gap has been able to distribute over 1.2 million pounds of food to people struggling from the pandemic or resulting shutdowns. Arizona Food Bank Network, Feeding America, chose Gap as a redistribution point for food boxes derived from purchasing food from farmers and dairy farmers who were hurt during restaurant shutdowns. We gave out those food boxes all summer to families in need, as well as to foster, adoptive, and kinship families, and we're still receiving food boxes to redistribute. We worked with Pallets of Love to deliver 120 pallets of non-food items to partners and nonprofits to give to people that they serve. Hickman Eggs and Shamrock Food chose Gap as a redistribution point to distribute eggs and milk to foster families, group homes, and over 2,000 foster kids in southern Arizona during the height of the pandemic. Old Navy sent a semi-truckload full of clothes that they were unable to sell due to the shutdown, and we were able to redistribute those to foster and kinship families throughout the community. Toys for Tots, who normally give out toys for Christmas, chose Gap as a location in southern Arizona for toys to redistribute to children suffering through the pandemic. We gave to all foster care agencies, group homes, and local foster families, as well as organizations serving disadvantaged individuals such as women's shelters and other places that come and pick up food boxes from us. Gap Ministries distributed hand sanitizer, cleaning supplies, socks, and medications to the community through our 40 nonprofit partners, including local churches. Gap Ministries distributed food and other items to the Tohono O'odham Nation in several locations to children and adults in extreme poverty, also supplying them a commercial refrigerator to store food and thermal bags to distribute to rural locations. FEMA sent 584,000 masks to Gap to redistribute into the community and went to places like El Rio Health Clinic, Habitat for Humanity, SARSEF, and low-income schools to distribute to their students. Low-income individuals who qualify for access will now be able to shop for free once a month in our community warehouse to help them through rough times. And we recently partnered with Amazon's distribution center here in Tucson to take donations and distribute it out into the community. Thanks again for all of the support for 2020, and we look forward to what 2021 has to offer. Back to you, Greg and John.
Well, thank you, Jason, for giving us that update. We really appreciate it. And I hope that inspired you just to really understand what this season's all about, that it's time to give. And I know getting gifts is great, and I love receiving those thoughtful things from everybody, but I can tell you, I have much more joy when I get to give. And so make this a season of giving. So we're up next. What do we do here?
I'm going to make my 5
you get to make
chocolate hot chocolate. You're going to make your 4 chocolate hot chocolate.
I'm ripped.
So let's go ahead and start. We're going to grab this. This is just a packet of the Swiss milk chocolate. Has some marshmallows in there. And dump that in. You definitely have to have some of this.
Okay, what is this?
This is the Abuelita's chocolate.
So tell us about it.
It's more of, I would say, a Tucson hot chocolate. It has some spices in there, some cinnamon. You'll definitely be able to taste that. I think it has a little bit.
So this is the little Tucson twist then?
That's part of it, but we have this guy right here. It's a little dried chili. You can use any chili you want. I know Michael Ayers does not like chilies in his milk chocolate.
And that's what he said.
And if you don't, just drop it in there.
And he's Hispanic too. I don't quite get that.
I don't know. Maybe we'll ask him in a little bit. But if you do like...
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah.
A question.
Sure.
We're asking about volunteerism. How can they get involved? How can they help?
Well, absolutely. We definitely need volunteers in the kitchen. And you can share some of the stuff that we need done in the kitchen. But our warehouse, you saw that with Jason out there. Every week we need volunteers, some that could come reoccurring if you're retired and just want to have a side gig that we're not paying you to do, but you're here to volunteer. We would love for you to be there. And you can come every week, and And there's so much that you can do in our warehouse, and John shared a little bit what they could do in the kitchen.
This week, the Tucson SWAT team came and helped us make 1,900 tamales. We didn't finish completely, so the McKenna family of 10 came, and they did about 300, and then today we had Sabino High School come. But 1,900 sugar cookies, 1,900 tamales, we did about 200 dinners, so we need you to come help us.
Yeah, because our culinary school doesn't run all the time, so in between those times we really need your help. So we really encourage you, if you love to cook, if you love to be a part of watching how food actually blesses people, come out and be a part of our kitchen. It would be great.
Volunteer at gapmin.com.
And you can find us on volunteer@gapmin.com.
If you really like chili, I would suggest crushing it up, dumping it in there, letting the chocolate seep when we melt it in there.
Now we can, even though those are plasticky, we can drink this, right?
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Make sure you do it right before bedtime so that heartburn really kicks in.
Yeah, thank you.
Throw a couple marshmallows if you want one. We're going to take a candy cane. I like these little chocolate curls. This is our 5th chocolate going in. And like you said, I think you need more than these than I do because you don't really have too many.
Yeah, I'm kind of low on the chocolate side here.
We're going to set this aside. And then
And did
we're
you
gonna,
just drop the candy canes in?
You can drop one of
You
them.
don't crush them or anything?
No, not on this one.
All
But you
right.
can if you want.
Do you know the story about the candy cane?
I think my son told me something about if it was upside down, it's a J.
J.
I don't know the whole story though.
Well, can't tell you the whole story, but it's peppermint, so kind of spicy, and it's about the 3 kings brought spices to Jesus as a gift. It's striped.
Frankincense
That's
and myrrh, right?
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Yep. We're going to have gold in the peppermint bark. So there we got covering what the wise men brought. You got some stripes. Jesus was beaten, and he bore stripes on his back for our healing. The red is for the blood of Jesus for our salvation. So there's just all kinds
White is
of
for purity.
Absolutely. So there's quite the story around the peppermint stick and the candy cane. Not just something that hangs on a tree that we eat, but there's really some significance when it comes to the Christmas story. In case you didn't know that.
I knew a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to break it
Hey, good job.
completely.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome. If you have that one candy cane that's broken and your son or daughter is just like, my candy cane's broken, you can just say, you know what, we're going to make some peppermint bark.
Have you ever just done the candy cane and you start and you just keep licking it until it's like you don't chew it or anything, it's completely licked to the end?
And it comes to a point?
Comes to a point and then you keep going with it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way to eat a candy cane.
I don't know. So go ahead and take that French rolling pin and crush that candy cane as much as you want. I'm going to grab that white chocolate that we had chilling.
So how do you keep it from going all over your kitchen?
If you want to put a piece of parchment paper over it, you could, or a piece of plastic, but we want it going everywhere. My
Okay.
dog loves it.
Your dog loves
No,
it?
I'm just kidding.
So this is our chilled.
Chilled white chocolate that we did.
Okay.
And you crush it any way you want. And however big you want, if you like your peppermint bark to be super pepperminty,
idea.
you might want it very small. I like some chunks in there, so I'm just going to take some chunks of it, and I'm done with it.
All right.
I'm going to take my milk chocolate, and I'm going to put it over
We stir it up again.
my white, yep, in case,
Now
just
this
to make
was
sure it's completely melted.
Every 10 seconds, so you didn't burn it.
Correct.
And how
It's
many
about-
seconds does it usually take?
About 30 seconds, 30, 40 seconds.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with a little bit of drizzle. But if you want to be really chocolatey on both, you just want to cover the top exactly where you did your white chocolate. While it's still soft, I'm going to take my crushed up peppermint. And this is like just so super simple, but it's something we forget and we don't do every year. And I know for me and my kids, we love to have an activity, so it's just so simple
Yeah,
and
this
so
is
easy.
a really easy one for kids. They would love to do this.
And if you're like Greg, you know, it's messy.
Well, if it wasn't rigged against me.
And then this is some 24 karat edible gold. I just want to put that last little touch on it. If you got a kit and your gold is in that plastic, just try and take the chocolate chips out of it, and then you'll be able to shake the gold out onto it. And I'm going to let both of these go back into the fridge and chill, and then we'll have a drink of some hot chocolate in just a little bit.
Awesome.
We have a question. Someone wants to know if they can buy the kits afterwards.
Sure.
And how much
I
are
think the
kits?
website will still be up. They're $10 each.
And and explain again what they get in the kit.
In the kit, you'll get a mason jar that's pre-done with some chocolate,
It
white
will
and
look
dark.
better than that one?
This one's kind of perfect.
I don't know. That's a little messy.
Oh,
That's
that's
got a lot of chocolate in there.
perfect. And then you'll get one of these, 2 ounces of milk chocolate chips, a candy cane, some gold, and some white chocolate. You also get a piece of parchment paper in there as well. This YouTube video will be shared on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to click on it and watch it at any time.
But it's so easy that even without the recipe, they can probably figure this out. And so simple.
They'll have
Oh,
one.
and they have a recipe. So thanks a lot. So coming up right now, we want to, our staff want to just share some words of encouragement with you, tell you how much they appreciate you, and watch this short video from our staff here at Gap Ministries.
Hi, this is Rick from the Community Warehouse at Gap Ministries. We're just here to thank you for everything that you've done for this city and helping this warehouse get off the ground. We just love you, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hey everybody, this is the Gap Kitchen team, and we're here to say thank you for partnering with us for 2020. It's been an amazing year in so many ways, and not so amazing in other ways. But you've helped produce thousands of meals, hundreds of thousands of meals this year. We're very looking forward to 2021, and we just want to say thank you, and have a great Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Hi, I'm Jennifer McFerrin, and I'm the Director of Miracle Center and Treasures and More, and this is our team. 2020 has been a difficult year, but it's also been a year of blessing, and we just wanted to thank you for being a part of that and getting us through this season and through this year. So we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
I just want to take the time to thank everybody from the foster care and the visitation side. We just appreciate your generosity and everything that each of you did to be a part of what Gap Ministries is, and that is what God is doing through each and every one of us. You were able to bring hope to our families in foster care, hope to our children, hope to families that were in need. We appreciate what you have done, and thank you so much, and have a great Merry Christmas 2020.
Merry Christmas.
Wow, 2020 has been just a crazy year, but thanks to you, thanks to the incredible staff here at Gap, thanks to every donor, thanks to every volunteer, 2020 has been just a miraculous time seeing God do what only God can do. We're praying for you, we're praying for your families, we're praying for our city, we're praying for our nation, but we want you to know that we wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. Fortunately, Michael and I aren't going to be doing any chocolate and getting messy, so
Unfortunately
this will be a little better. I'm super excited to have somebody here with us tonight. Fortunately, he doesn't have to work. Normally, he'd be working tonight, but this is a gentleman named Michael, and he was one of our first foster kids that came into Gap Ministries in 1999, and he's going to share a little bit about his story and what it's been like to be at Gap. So. How old, Michael, were you when you came in, and what are some memories you have or anything you can think about your early days at Gap?
I was a year and a half. Me and my sister, so I was a year and a half and my sister was 3. We were the third and fourth kid in Gap. So we weren't number 1 and 2, which kind of makes me sad, but it's okay. One of my earliest memories, me and my mom, I was one of the younger ones. I think I was the youngest in the house. But me and my mom would get like a really big sheet and kind of like this, and we would put it over the dining room table, and we would like play with toys underneath it, and that's kind of like the earliest memory. So since I was young, I got to spend a lot of time with, I didn't know at the time, but my future mom. But yeah, that was fun.
How old were you when you were adopted by the heirs?
2000, it was in 2004, so I was about 6.
6? Okay.
5 or 6.
Okay.
but yeah, for my earliest memory is them. So they've been my parents in my mind my whole life.
Since
So
you were
like,
little.
yeah.
So his house parents at our very first Splash House, Splash Houses is what we call our group homes, and it stands for Spirit-Powered Love, Aggressively Shaping Hearts. And so Greg and Pam Ayers, who started this ministry and started GAP, they had the first Splash House, and they were the first house parents. So that's who he's talking about when he's talking about his mom, Pam Ayers.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since you've gotten older.
So obviously they adopted me. I lived a pretty wonderful life. And after high school, I decided to go to ministry school up in California. And kind of my whole life, like I knew, like we went to church and I knew about God, but I didn't really know him like in my heart. And so that was kind of like my choice. Like I really want to learn more about Jesus. And so I went, I thought I was only going for 1 year. But every year I wanted to come home, and the Lord was like, no, like we're going to stay and we're going to continue. And I got a lot of healing, inner healing that I didn't know that I needed. And since going, like I have my own personal relationship with the Lord. Not to piggyback off of my parents, but they helped me tremendously. But that was a decision that I made on my own, and it was the greatest decision I've could have made.
So what changed when you got to, and it was the Bethel, what?
Bethel School of Supernatural Discipleship.
And it's up in the San Francisco area?
Yeah, it's a little north of San Francisco. It was one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
And what was different for you when you went there? What made you decide to make it a personal relationship?
It's a good question.
Wasn't in the list.
I know, it wasn't in the list. I wasn't prepared. So growing up with obviously Pam and Greg, I got to be around them, and I saw their personal relationship with the Lord, and it made me really want more. I wanted my own, and I learned that the Lord's relationship with everyone is so different and so vast, and one person can have, they can meet the Lord in drawing or singing or, but yeah, I just wanted my own relationship with the Lord, and yeah, I have that now.
So what else happened to you while you were in ministry school?
This was not the plan, but I ended up finding my wife there. She was actually, quote unquote, a grade above me, so I went after the older girl. Yeah. Yeah, and she was actually one of the pastors there when I was a third year, so that was crossing all the lines. But we ended up getting married, and we've been married for a year and a half. We just got a baby, or she just delivered a baby.
You just got one. Historic problem,
and we went
right?
and bought one, yeah. Found it at Target. It was a great deal.
Oh, I wish we could have her up here.
It was a Black Friday
I only
deal.
invited Michael so we could actually have Ronan here, but that's okay.
But yeah, her name is Ronan Joy Ayers, and she has been nothing but joy in our family. Yeah.
And what are you and your wife doing these days?
So after we got married, we were in California for about 6 or 7 months, and we felt that the Lord was saying to come work for GAP and come serve. And we both love ministry, so we decided to come, and we got to be house parents. And so now I'm working at Splash 13. It was kind of like full circle, so it's been wonderful working in the house.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a real first full circle story with one of the very first kids in GAP now as a house parent at GAP. So how is it being a house parent since you went through that all? You were that kid that you're now talking to that comes in. How does that work for you?
I kind of have an advantage over most people. I can connect with the kids on a very deep personal level. I've had many times where I'm like, hey guys, like look, I've been where you're at, like I get it, and not a lot of people can say that, like, and so then the kids are like, oh, I can't really argue because you've been here. So it's helped me a lot to connect with them and really build that relationship with them, and it's been wonderful. We've seen multiple kids in our home say yes to the Lord, and it's not really what I've said. It's more of just like consistent love to them, and that's the biggest key, consistency with love, and meeting them exactly where they're at.
Cool. Well, everybody, thanks. I'm glad we got to have Michael here. I'm glad he cut his shaggy hair. You might have seen him in some of our pictures on our website and all, but it's a really neat story, so we're really thankful. Maybe before the end of this, we can get baby Ronan in the picture somehow or other. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Greg's up. Sorry.
Hey. No, I'm really proud to call Michael my son. It's just, it's really hard. I thought of some words I would say when I got up here, knowing that he was sharing his testimony and how God has taken him full circle. And I just want his testimony and his story to be an encouragement to you that God redeems everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how difficult. It doesn't matter what the history is. God is a redemptive God, and he desires to take what the enemy has meant for evil. He desires to take what is broken and messed up and turn it into something beautiful. And Michael's story, and there's so many kids. We had our 20-year anniversary last year, and we got to see so many kids that have gone through GAP whose lives have been rearranged permanently because of the love of staff. And really that love of staff is really the love of God that flowed through them. And I want to thank everybody at GAP. I want to thank all of our staff who love children and love hurting people well. And it's because of your love that stories of redemption like Michael's it's possible. And I thank each and every one of you. And that just leads us to the next moment of our history. And I'm going to share just briefly about the Campus of Hope through a video, and I want you to stay tuned and watch this. If you don't know about our Campus of Hope and the campaign that we're in, please take the next few minutes and watch this and get an understanding why it's so important that we move into this next season of hope for GAP Ministries. What an exciting time in GAP's history. I'm standing in what we're going to call the Campus of Hope for children, for families, for our community. They need hope. GAP, for the last almost 10 years, has leased a piece of property off of Flowing Wells, and many of you have been by there, but it's not our property. So this capital campaign is so critical to us. It allows us to have a property of our own. It allows us to expand the services that we give. More importantly, it allows us to save money.
I was on drugs for a long period of time in my life and was stealing and robbing people and just doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. When I first showed up at GAP, it was the day after I had gotten out of prison after 6.5 years. Came here the day after I got out, looking for an opportunity to do something, to gain a skill, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with cooking, fell in love with giving back. GAP as a whole, not just the culinary program, but just everyone involved in GAP has been a huge impact on my life. My life is a lot greater because of GAP.
As I look back at critical moments and pivotal moments in GAP Ministries, it was the establishment of our kitchen that was one of those critical times. And when God opened the door for our kitchen, not only did he open a door for us to feed children, and we feed in Title I schools, we feed throughout the O5 and the Indian reservations and throughout our community. Not only was that an opportunity for us that will continue to expand with our new kitchen, but it opened a door for us to train people through our culinary school, to bring hope, because they didn't have hope, because they didn't know what their job was going to be. They didn't know what was inside of them until they actually stepped into a kitchen. I remember one of our culinary students, as I walked in, she was sharing with a volunteer that this was the first time in her life that she had experienced hope. And I walked away weeping, saying, this is what this is all about. This building will save us money, meaning more of this product, more of food, more hope going into lives of families that desperately need it.
I've been volunteering here at GAP going on 8 years. A couple of months ago, we had an open house here, and I met this lady, and I asked her, I said, can I help you do anything? And she said, well, you know what? I'm just so thankful, because if it wasn't for GAP, my grandkids wouldn't have no Christmas present, and that just touched my heart, because that's what GAP is all about.
So many foster families, so many kinship families, so many families on the edge of poverty. They tell stories about how if it wasn't for the GAP warehouse, the community warehouse, their Christmases and their family gatherings and their home in general just could not function without the things they receive.
Tucson Electric Power is proud to be a sponsor of the community warehouse. As you can see from the amazing vehicle behind me, the Gap Ministries is able to take items that are donated and get them back out into the community and get them used exactly where they're needed so that they can help families across southern Arizona. We know Gap Ministries is looking forward as they develop their plans for the Campus of Hope. We know that this will be the new and revolutionary place where Gap Ministries can continue their legacy and join with all of our community partners to bring together the best that Gap Ministries has to offer.
I'm standing in a space that will be our new nonprofit Connect space. And this will be a place that will be very inexpensive for them as a launching pad for young and new nonprofits. It's designed as a place of ministry to nonprofit leaders. It's always been an underlying foundational thought of Gap Ministries that what we have isn't ours. What we have is God's kingdom. And so we are willing to share everything that we have with those around us. And that's why this space is so important, because it's our way of helping to give back. It's our way to share the resources and the blessing that God has given us.
My name is Beth Sierra. I run the foster care, visitation, and parent aid programs here at Gap Ministries. When children are removed from their biological families, that bond is there. No matter what type of abuse or neglect happened, there's still that bond with their parents. So when they get that time together, it's important to continue that bond.
I'm standing in what will be the new foster care visitation space. And what is so beautiful about this space is that though it's on the Campus of Hope, it actually is a separate corner of the property where we can ensure that there's security and safety for our families and children. Dedicated rooms that will be inviting, clean, homey, and effective play areas that families can reconnect. Our parent aid services will be more effective. Our foster care licensing and training will be more effective because of this dedicated space. Our lease expires by the end of 2022. That seems like a long way off, but it's not. And when that expires, it's not only going to be our current rate, but it's going to go to a fair market rate, and that will almost double. This is a crucial time. God's opening this door. This is an avenue on this piece of property. We have looked across our city, and we really believe this is the place. And we need you to partner with us in this season because it's so critical that we move into our own space. We need to set a trajectory for the next 20 years of Gap Ministries. And this place I'm standing, is the beginning of that new season. It will take all of us participating over the next 4.5 years to make this a debt-free property, releasing hope into our community. I want to thank all the people for the last 20 years who have given to us, who have sacrificed to make sure that we're bringing health and healing and hope and wholeness to children and families' lives. You've been such a critical part of this journey that Gap has had. And I want to thank you because without you, we could not be stepping into this new season. We couldn't be stepping into this new opportunity to bring even more hope. I'm standing in what we're going to call the Campus of Hope. Will you walk with us into our future? Because this is the place where God will have us release the hope for our community. Well, we're interrupting this show because there was a great demand to see little baby Ronan Joy, and here she is. And again, this is a byproduct or a blessing from a redeemed life. And so Pam and I have great joy with all of our grandchildren. Actually, I've told my kids if I would have known how great grandchildren were, I probably wouldn't have any kids. We go straight to grandchildren, but we know that it doesn't quite work that way. But she is just a sweetheart, and Michael, I know you love her to death, and she's a sweetie, and we love her being a part of the family. So there's been a couple questions, and I want to throw out some answers to you. The first one was if we were going to do more of these type of events, and we think that's a great idea. We'll try to maybe do one a quarter, and we'll theme them. John's probably got some great ideas on what he can show us how to cook, and maybe they won't be all cooking type shows. There'll be all kinds of things, but are you making
covered strawberries for February?
Let's get a little more complicated. We need some
turkey gravy.
And there was a question. I don't know how you knew that, but there's a question from one of our viewers that ask, what is a great turkey gravy and how do we make it?
Well, I have to tell the whole story. When I'm making my Thanksgiving dinner, I take my turkey breast and legs off of the bone. That's how I cook it. I cook it to about 130 degrees internally, chill it out the day before, and then that way Thanksgiving is not chaotic. I take those bones and make a turkey stock, take all the innards, the giblets, the neck, whatever, and I saute that up with some onions and some garlic, and then I'll take my turkey stock, add that to my giblets with a little bit of butter and flour, so my roux that I've made, and add that turkey stock to it, and then I have the best turkey gravy ever.
Can they get that recipe from you?
Sure.
We'll get it posted on Facebook or something by great demand.
$5.
$5, okay.
But the best gravy in the world is chorizo gravy. Sauteing some chorizo, draining off a little bit of that grease, add a little bit of heavy cream and some chicken stock.
Over your turkey?
You could, but I would prefer to have them over my biscuits.
Okay, yes. All right, take it away, guys.
All right. Oh, Greg, you're kicked out of the kitchen. We brought in a true culinarian. This is Monica of class 15, and she's graduating tomorrow.
Yes.
So I just want to introduce you to Monica. And Monica, will you tell them how you met us, how we met about 10 weeks ago?
Yes, about 10 weeks ago, I was referred here through GARP, which is Goodwill Adult Reentry Program. And I'd lost my job at COVID because of a business closure. So with my troubled past, I have problems finding a career or job course. So I decided to advance myself a little bit with culinary training, and I think it's worked out. It's opened up some opportunities for me. I'm being referred out to the gallery. Hopefully I get it.
Interview Monday at
Yes.
11. Pray for her.
Yes, at the golf course, and you know, I'm really excited. I see light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm just can't wait. Just can't.
So she was super big in helping me create these. So let's see what we got going on. Got our peppermint bark. It's pretty solid now. I just put it in the freezer, and you can break it up into whatever shapes and sizes you want. And that is perfect. And then, and the parchment paper is really helpful to just kind of break it apart. And then I got my 2 cups of milk. I've warmed it up for about 3 minutes, and I'm going to pour it into this jar. And that's what you should be doing. I'm going to make sure my lid is on super tight and shake it up. If you're like Greg, you only have a little bit of chocolate, so it'll probably all fall in there. But if I'm just going to shake it up a little bit, that chocolate kind of still stays there. Might be able to use it one more time. And then we're going to pour it in here. What have you learned these last 10 weeks, Monica?
Oh, what I've learned, anything from stocks to sauces, cutting techniques. The tourney, I believe it is what won I won our Iron Chef competition.
Oh.
And I also, you know, achieved my Serve Safe Manager, which has pushed me along a little bit further. And from desserts to ganache to creme brulee, so many things. So many things.
Greg, would you like to try this hot chocolate that we made so well?
Well, I don't know. Mine was, I was shafted in the way mine was supposed to turn out, so I think I'll just let you guys enjoy it.
I guess we'll have to try it again. So, Monica, cheers to your future. Cheers to your success. We bless you. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Let Pam and I be the first to congratulate you guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
a big
you.
feat, so way to go.
Thanks.
All right, good job.
Thanks.
The little COVID elbow.
We want to just say a blessing as we say goodnight. But what a year this has been. I can say I don't want to relive 2020, but I can also say there were so many blessings to GAP, to our kids, to our staff. So many times we said, hey guys, help us. How would you like to have 10 kids quarantined in a home for almost a year? How would you like to be homeschooling 10 kids instead of the 2 you have at home? And they have done an amazing job, and you guys have then come alongside them, sent them little gifts, little toys, things that they could use in their homes. We've gotten truckloads from the community of things that we needed to get out then, not just to GAP, but to all of you in our whole city. So it's taken all of us to accomplish things in 2020 we never thought we could do. but coming together, we were able to do that. So thank you. And I just want to say the blessings we have had are enormous, and we just want to pray a blessing on you guys tonight. So thank you for joining us.
So let me pray for you. So Father, I thank you. I thank you for every volunteer. I thank you for every person that's given. I thank you for every staff member. I thank you for those people that pray for us. I thank you for a community that's not only in Tucson, but literally across the United States, who prays for us, who supports us in just incountable ways. And God, I thank you for each and every one of them. And God, I pray that this holiday season, with all the chaos from COVID to political stresses, all the chaos that we've seen, God, may the Prince of Peace and the true joy of Christmas, Jesus Christ, come and fill every home, come and fill every life. And God, may we not get caught up in the trappings of Christmas, the Christmas tree and Santa, and that's all fun and great. But God, may we find you, Jesus Christ, not only the Savior of our soul, but the ones that the angels sang about to shepherds, that there's joy to the world, for you have come to save this world. God, we thank you. I pray that your presence, your peace, your prosperity, your provision, your blessing be upon every house. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
We love you guys. Until next time, be blessed and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.